Annyeong, it's Mikey here, and guys, I want to thank you guys so much. Like, I can't believe I'm almost at 5,000 subscribers. I'm really trying my best to, build this channel up, and it's really I couldn't have done it without any of you guys' help. So thank you guys so much for just supporting and loving this channel. Now, today I want to thank two different companies. One is Velocifire because they sent me out their newest DRK-601. This is supposed to be a 60%. That's supposed to be a case for the Wooting, and it has a PCB in it as well, so you can actually build a 64% or 60% or an HHKB board. So depending on what you're wanting, this thing can be do different things. And I also want to thank Keytok because they sent me out their new keycap set, which is a collaboration with S4U, the game actually. So it's coming out with their own game, and this is a keycap set that's supposed to match the game. So let's get straight into the unboxing, and please make sure to like and subscribe. So first off, starting off the unboxing of the DRK-601. Thank you again, Velocifire, for sending me this out. So this is the DRK DIY kit. It is supposed to be a kit that's also like able to use the case for the Wooting, but it also comes with a PCB battery and everything so that you can actually build yourself a cool 60%, 64% HHKB, whichever layout you prefer. So as we see right here, we have the bottom. It's going to be a little bit of like a foam sheet for the bottom of the case itself. So that's something really cool. I think this board, it's going to be interesting to see what comes with it. This is going to be the accessories to make an HHKB board, depending on how you would like it to be, to get the battery as well. It's not a big battery. It's only 3,000 milliamp hours, which is not bad, but yeah, they're definitely small. So it comes with a USB dongle as well, and you get the PCB, and you get a lot of different plates. So as you can see here, there's like a total of 5 different plates, and I'm gonna have to see which one I'm gonna build. I think most likely I'm gonna go with just your most basic build out of this, the 64%. But as you can see here, you get many different styles like ISO, ANSI, the HHKB. One thing I've kind of been noticing here is that I don't see one that would work for the Wooting. See, I thought that might work for the Wooting, but no, it's missing the specific keys for the bottom right side. So I mean, we'll see. We'll take a look once we go in. They provide you stabilizers, which is awesome, right? So you get Designer Studio plate mount stabilizers. They're actually one of my favorite stabilizers that are plate mounted. Probably one of the best things you could do. You also get like a coiled cable, which is really cool. And this is the case. This case looks really nice, very sleek. Looks really cool. Like it gives me very big like Gundam foot vibes, really like huge Gundam foot vibe. And I'm actually quite interested in the material too. The material feels really nice. It was really well built. It's like a very high quality material case. Now, of course, we're going to weigh the case just on its own, and it weighs about 1 kilogram. So keep that in mind. It is a decently heavy case. Now, we're going to be building this with the Keytok keycaps. So thank you again, Keytok, for sending me this out. So this is their collaboration keycaps with S4U, the game, like it's a new video game, and it's actually a collaboration keycap with that. So this looks really cool. We're gonna have to see what it looks like after. And of course, I'm actually gonna be using a very, very budget switch on this thing, and it's gonna be the KeyGeek M3 switch. And that switch sounds really great, by the way. So this is gonna be a really nice sounding board at the end. I think it's gonna be like a nice creamy sounding board at the end of it. Now we did put the battery in, and of course I did put this in more of like a time-lapse quick, like very, very fast-paced build. And the reason behind is this: I don't want to bore you guys with like the whole building process, but also for those that are out there that get this board or are interested in it, at least have an idea of how the build goes. Now I got that PCB, I got the foam in the between. It's just a regular foam that you put underneath. I got the plate, and then interesting enough, this plate doesn't actually give you any screws to screw it into your PCB itself, so you actually have to keep it in with the switches. So you're gonna have to do the most things I would suggest is like getting the corners done first. So putting the switches in the corner, and then of course putting the other switches in afterwards, and of course the stabilizers. Before you put in the stabilizers for the spacebar shifts and backspace, just keep that in mind. One of the switches came bent there, so we also have to make that
fully straight. Now this is the Designer Studio plate mount stabilizers, really my favorite. This one is probably the best stabilizer you can use. Now I put everything together with the switches and the keycaps in, and we're gonna now put it all together inside this case. All right, so we put it in, which is actually quite a long process, gonna be honest with you. This case is not a very simple case to build. One thing I did realize with it was that it is a long process, because you have 2 different types of screws that you have to use, and you're gonna have to, you know, get them fully in. And also you have to screw in the sides as well. So see those knobs right there? Those are also screws, and they actually keep the case together as well. And one of the things was they're supposed to be really stuck in so that you can just pull that one out and like just turn it. I had an issue with mine where it wasn't fully, the round part was actually coming off, and then I actually had to get a wrench to really put it all together. So we did put this in finally. I made a mistake there as well. I was supposed to actually put those screws in afterwards. They're supposed to go in after I put the gold piece in the side. And so this is something to keep in mind, right? There's so many parts to this board. You're really gonna have to be careful when you are working with it, and just going through it slowly. Because I'm having to, you know, build these boards and then do a review on it. I wasn't fully aware of like everything and making mistakes here and there, and it's okay to make mistakes, right? As long as you're doing it carefully and you don't break anything, it's not a big deal. And this one actually is supposed to be a hexagonal shaped one, so you get 2 different types of screws.
So we finally got this board built out, so you guys can take a look right here. So if I give it a little bit close up, you guys can see right now, this is the full build with the Keytok keycap set and the DRK. Now, unfortunately, the DRK does not come with a plate that works with the Wooting. Unfortunately, it just does not work. They don't provide you one that does work. They have plates for many different layouts, yet they say it's compatible for Wooting, but they don't provide you a plate for Wooting. Now, I know that they provide the like schematics for it, like you can 3D print it yourself if you wanted to use it for your Wooting. I honestly think that if they're gonna go that route, they shouldn't be promoting it, saying that it is Wooting compatible, unless they're gonna provide you the plate that works with it, right? That is quite unfortunate for me to see. Now, this board is actually really nice though. Honestly, I think if they provided the Wooting plate, this has been really cool, because I would have loved to have tried it with my Wooting 60 and see what it's like in this. Let's go into, you know, a little bit more details with the Keytok keycaps and do a full review a little bit closer with this board. So let's get straight into that.
So this is the Keytok keycaps that I was talking about, and this is the Keytok with S4U, Speak for You keycap set. It's a collaboration with S4U, the game. Sorry there, I had a bit of a hard time pulling it off, but this is probably one of my favorite companies that does keycaps, and it's because I really like the quality of keycaps that they do, and the pricing of them is not horribly expensive. So one thing you'll notice is this box is quite small and the keycap set there. So one thing you should know is that this keycap set is not a full-size keycap set for a full layout. You are actually only going to get enough for about a 75% keyboard. That's pretty much it. You don't get the split spacebar. You won't get a 7U like spacebar either. So keep that in mind. You're going to get a 6.5U spacebar in this, and it does come with a lot of different accents, which is really cool though. I really appreciated the quality of it. They think they did a really great job and like really replicating what this video game is going to be like. It actually made me more curious about this video game. So I'm going to have to probably take a look, and maybe one day I can show you guys that game too. Now, as you can see, I'm going to be measuring the insides, how thick it is. So this is the F keys, right? So the F keys are looking at about 1.4 on the back, 1.1 and 1.3 in the front. The 1.1 is going to be the sides. So pretty decent thickness on these keycaps. And the feel wise, these ones really remind me of the Smile to the 90s, which is my favorite keycap set from them. It feels really nice. Like it's a smooth feel, which isn't too smooth either, where like it's slippery. And in terms of the height profile too, it's supposed to be chair profile, but it does feel a little bit higher on the tops of the F ones. But as you can see here, it's 1.2 and 1.0, and you get 1.1 with the sides. So the 1.2 is the front, 1.2 in the back, and the sides is the 1.1. So decently thick keycaps, honestly. Like they're really well done. I was really impressed with it. The sound of this board in total sounded really great. As you can see here, I even modded the spacebar. One thing to note though, the spacebar does have a lot of hollow space. So when I finished with it, I did have to mod the spacebar because it just didn't sound too great. It had a little bit of tinging. So that is something you're going to have to keep in mind when you get this keycap set. Make sure you do fill it in a little bit with like something. Tape works as well. Now, I felt that with the M3 switches, it sounded amazing. Like this board sounds so good. I think the case, like how they built this case out with this keycap set and the M3 switches, you're going to get yourself a really nice, creamy keyboard. So if you're someone that's out there that wants a small board that's really compact, I would say you won't go wrong with making this kind of build. But it is going to be it's not going to be cheap, right? You're going to be spending at least about 220 USD. Let me go look into like more of the software. So going in first to the website, right? This is a DRK-601. So it is 170 USD. It's definitely not cheap, right? Even for a Wooting case as well, it's definitely more on the pricier side. And they don't even provide you the Wooting plate, which is really unfortunate, honestly. As you see, this says plate files, so you can actually click on there to actually look at the shape and sizing of it. It's just unfortunate that they didn't do it. Now they provided the manual here on their drive. Now I had to actually reach out to Velocifire to ask them to do this because there was none before. So this does have wired tri-mode, right? You get both. It's supposed to have 1K polling. One thing I did note and wanted to make sure is how to do these different function shortcuts, because this is really important and you really need this. Now, if you press FNB, right, you can go into wired mode. One thing to note, the thing about the FN plus M, you're gonna have to really keep that in mind, because mine was, or like as soon as I plugged it in, was actually in Mac mode. And the way you can tell with this board is when you press the left alt key, it's going to be Windows, and the right alt keys is also Windows. So keep that in mind. Hold FNM to really change this mode back to normal. And of course, check out the Google Drive for all of the function shortcuts and things that you need to know. Now, as you can see on this website here, the build wise, they actually have a video of how to do the build, which is awesome, and it provides you good information of how to do it. Now, testing out the polling rate, we can also tell that it is 1000 hertz. And when I was playing games with this board, it felt perfectly fine, right? No latency issues, definitely well built. I actually like how this board fully came out to be at the end of it. So in total, right, like this board is really well built in terms of the quality. The plates here that they provide you, if you're someone that's looking for more of a DIY kit and not specifically trying to find a Wooting case, you can definitely take a look at this board. It comes with so many different plates already. I'm just saying that it's unfortunate they didn't provide the Wooting one, but at least they provided the plate files for those that have like a 3D printer or something. You can definitely print one yourself. Maybe I'll try that in the future. You do get a split spacebar one. Maybe one day I should actually try that as well. The split spacebar is one of my favorite ways to do it. But in total, I actually really like this layout. It's a 64% layout. And most of the times I don't really use page up, page down anyway. So just having a delete key available is really nice. It's actually the crying emoji one, the crying cat. And in total, this build is a 1.4 kilo. So it's not too heavy. It definitely has a bit of heft, but not too heavy for me to say carry to work. And this layout is perfect for me for that purpose. I also think that in total with this keycap set, it sounds super good, right? It sounds really, really creamy. I think that like in total with this switch set, with these keycaps and this build, like the whole DIY kit, the DRK, it's really nicely done. And I think obviously it is on the really pricey side, right? Like if I'm comparing this with other 65% boards, it's definitely pricey. They do really a great job in terms of the quality though. Like there's just like a little sparkle on the top and then sparkling on the bottom, as you can see right there in my camera. I really think they did a great job. Of course, I'll have the links in the description for all of this, like the keycap set, switches, and the board itself. Definitely pricey, right, compared to say like an Epimaker P65, but for the quality that you're getting out of this, out of DIY kit, you should really go check it out. I think it is worth taking a look at because it's really nice.
I really like this keycap set, and this board together with the M3 switches sounds really great. Like, listen to this. Really comes down to a really good collaboration, like all combinations together. It sounds really incredible. Now, it doesn't come with a manual for the DRK. So as you guys saw when we went into like more depth with the software and me kind of showing you guys how to make it work, and of course like some of the shortcuts that you guys should know about, I'll also put them in the descriptions just so that anyone that gets this board and is very, very confused, at least you have that information. So I'll have like the different shortcuts that you should be very, very aware about, and I'll keep them in the descriptions. And for this board itself, in total, I do like the design. It kind of gives me like a Gundam foot design here. So if you look at right here, all right, it does look kind of like a Gundam. This keycap set though, I honestly really prefer it. It does feel really great. I think Keytok does, in general, Keytok is one of my favorite keycap companies. They make really nice feeling keycaps. Of course, I'll link both the board and the keycap set in the descriptions below. And with Keytok, by the way, if you put the code Mikey, you can save 10%. So keep that in mind if you are looking at Keytok keycaps. So go check out the other videos I got. And of course, I'll have to catch you guys next time.